I follow the law.
Okay, Judge, thank you.
All right. All right. So you went to a tire shop and purchased wheels and tires?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you say purchase wheels, what do you mean? What does that mean?
Just rims and tires for a car.
All right, so, and you put this on our account.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Why would you do that?
What happened is when we were married, we used this, the Snap Finance a few times. And when I went to go buy rims and tires, her information was still on there.
Let me just find him on our docket. Oh, there we are. Court is calling 2023 CR 11061. State of Texas versus Patrick Andrew Goldberg. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Marissa Giovenco for Mr. Goldberg.
And are you Mr. Goldberg?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery?
I have, Judge.
Did you review it with your client?
We have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Goldberg, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Goldberg, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with fraudulent use or possession of identifying information, 5 items, as a state jail felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Judge.
Mr. Goldberg, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution of $3,561.81 to Tanya Goldberg. That's Tania. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, Judge, there's a couple things I'd like to be heard on whenever you are ready for that. All right.
State is at the plea.
That is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing it, you were waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
There have not, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 80 hours of community service restitution, and no contact with Tanya Goldberg. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State Exhibit number 1 with all of its attachments.
Judge, I have gone over that with Mr. Goldberg and we have no objections.
All right, Mr. Goldberg, did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations?
Yes, ma'am.
With your attorney, did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront Any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you decided to apply for deferred adjudication. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge, a couple things. The no contact order with Tanya. My client and Tanya do have a 14-year-old daughter together. Primarily, my client only talks to his 14-year-old daughter. He does not communicate with Tanya. However, should there be an emergency or any parenting decisions that need to be discussed, I think it is possible, there is a possibility that they would need to discuss their child. And they also have the possibility of seeing each other at drop-offs. So we would just be asking either for the no contact except for regarding their child, which or a no harmful or injurious contact, Judge.
It says that she doesn't live in the state.
Correct.
So where would they be having contact at drop-offs?
He still does see his child, so
Well, I
they
mean,
still
does she
need to
come down
do-
here?
I live in Michigan, ma'am.
Oh, you live in Michigan as well?
Yes.
Okay. So you're all gonna be asking that this be transferred to Michigan?
Yes, Judge.
And what county in Michigan?
Right, or Ottawa.
Spell that, please.
Ottawa.
All right, anything else?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Goldberg works as a licensed security guard, an armed security guard for his employment. And we understand that traditionally no firearms as a condition of probation, is done in every case. But if he were not be able to carry his firearm for work, he would not be able to support his family. So we were asking, since this is a nonviolent offense, if there would be any way to let him keep his job and continue to support his family by having a firearm for work.
All right. State.
No objection to the no harmful or injurious contact order, Your Honor. And technically, if he's on probation for or deferred, he can't be in possession of firearms.
I follow the law.
Okay, Judge, thank you.
All right. All right. So you went to a tire shop and purchased wheels and tires?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you say purchase wheels, what do you mean? What does that mean?
Just rims and tires for a car.
All right, so, and you put this on our account.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Why would you do that?
What happened is when we were married, we used this, the Snap Finance a few times. And when I went to go buy rims and tires, her information was still on there. And I signed it as well, not reading all of it like I should have. And this is what happened.
It wasn't just in her name, Judge. He took out a credit account, not realizing that her name was also still on it. His name was on it as well.
All right. So where are you going to be working now? Because you're not going to be allowed to carry a weapon.
I am retired Air Force.
Okay. And with regards to the no contact order, state?
No objections to the no harmful or injurious conduct with this individual, Your Honor, since they do have a child.
All right. So, do you know if she wants to have contact?
I don't believe that either one of them want contact with each other, Judge, except for regarding their child. Correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. And if you were drug tested today, what would the results be?
Positive, because I do have a prescription for marijuana.
For what purpose?
PTSD.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to, I'm sorry, state, you may continue to confer. Court is going to sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution of $3,506.81 to Tanya Goldberg. proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. And if you do have a prescription for medical marijuana, you need to turn that over to probation so they can view it.
Yeah.
I'll allow transfer to Ottawa County, Michigan.
Yes, ma'am.
There's going to be 80 hours of community service restitution. Court is going to order parenting classes. Once that's completed, the community service hours will be deemed to be satisfied. I'm going to order the no contact with Tanya Goldberg counsel. If you obtain a letter or if she appears by Zoom, the court will reconsider that. But I don't lift no contact orders unless the complainant is aware of it.
Yes, Judge.
Probation. I'm going to ask for field visit. I know if he's in Michigan, maybe they don't do that, but field visit one time per month for 2 months. And then do they have a finance class or something for him to take?
Yes, Judge.
All right, and we'll do a finance class because none of this would have ever happened if you would have paid that bill back. And I don't know why you were getting rims for a vehicle.
Dumb.
Yeah, I mean, it's jewelry for a vehicle, I guess. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. So probation is gonna go over conditions with you. Make sure you read those conditions. One of the conditions that people always overlook in the probation packet is the one that says that you're required to support your dependents. So if you don't support your dependents, technically, a motion to revoke can be filed.
Okay.
If you have a question about anything, let your probation officer know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court or have your attorney come back to court since you're in Michigan. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So tell me about the tattoos. I'm
I
always interested.
got a lot of them in the military,
Yeah.
so this one I
Why
just,
did you do the black? You know, a lot of people are doing the blackout tattoos now.
yeah.
Was it to cover up something?
It was
or-
to cover up. I had another full sleeve that I had like 18
Mhm.
years ago when I was in the military, and I just wanted to cover it up.
Because I read that Kat, I think her name is Kat Bundy's.
Oh, yes.
She is doing her entire body from neck down,
I heard.
100% black. The only thing she's not covering up, I think she said, is.
Oh,
her
she's
parents'
blacking out
tattoo.
everything?
Her
Yeah.
face and everything.
Whoa.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Back
So-
to the plea, Judge, I do.
Just 1 second. So what about the names?
This is Bahala, so I got that from the military.
Okay.
This I recently just got because I wanted my initials. I just have a thing for art. I've always had.
Oh, no. And I always ask because I'm always interested in the pain.
Oh,
So the blackout tattoo, was that painful?
yes, yes. I don't want a tattoo after that.
How long did it take?
16 hours, like 3 passes.
Ah,
Yeah, no
all in
fun.
one sitting?
No, definitely not.
All right. And then the earrings, I always wonder if the weight, when you put the weight.
No, these are
into-
titanium, so they weigh nothing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does it hurt when you're doing the stretching?
yes, it does.
Are you gonna go bigger?
No, I want to go smaller if anything.
I was watching, what is her name? The doctor, they call her Dr. Pimple.
The
Whatever.
pimple hunter?
Yeah, but actually she says, hey, I'm not just that, right? I do more. So there were some people who had the earrings and then they wanted, it back. And so she was able to get it back, but she had to cut it some sort of way and put
Ooh.
the,
Stitch it up, yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't sound fun.
all right. Yes.
I do have one question, Judge. Since he is retired Air Force, you did say proof of additional employment. I just wanted to clarify that.
Well, I mean, I require that people are employed. If he's receiving SSI or something else, then he just needs to let probation know.
Okay, I just didn't know if he would need to get an additional job. I wanted to make sure that was clear for him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the job he has, if it requires that he carry a weapon, he can't have it.
Sometimes I
Correct.
don't, so I can always work the jobs that I don't.
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear. Thank you,
All
Judge.
right, thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Miss Attorney? What's
Yes,
Marissa,